or TuneIn apps. Just search for KDON in Las Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDON 101.5 FM. The talk of Las Vegas. That's how tired I am. I can't say Vegas. I'll if I have time, I'll tell the story. We're still waiting for Phil Stamper to hop in here. He's having some internet issues. Waiting on Coach too. We'll see where he's at. But this is pro wrestling at its finest as we bring you all the best news, entertainment, just a lot of unbelievable goings on. Well, I don't know about that. There were a couple. I'm kind of going through the notes here, and it was a busy week. Of course, we had AEW Redemption last Sunday night, so we didn't get to cover that. So we'll be back to that later on in the show. SummerSlam started yesterday. We had a pretty good episode of Dynamite. We had one of the worst segments of all time on Monday Night Raw. We've got a new Intercontinental Women's Champion. We have an arrival that I am very excited about in AEW is that massive pile of releases that took place 3 months ago has reaped its first fruit, shall we say. A little video from a couple of guys that got their walking papers from WWE the next week. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things that happened. We're going to try and get to it all, but I suppose that we must start with what happened yesterday. A 3/5 full stadium at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis for day one of Summity Dummity SummerSlam. You betcha. So how was it? It was okay. It was all right. I swear to God, one thing that I always do, I watch something and then I'm kind of curious to see what everybody else has to say about it too. Because I was, somewhere in left field watching something. It was all right. That's been the general consensus. A lot of people that I trust when I was reading their reviews. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But yeah, we're going to talk about it. But hey, I am happy. One of the comrades has made it into the house. We're still waiting for Phil, but I am thrilled to have Coach Rosie in the house. I'm trying to figure out what setting you're in. Just hanging around the pad there, Coach?
Yeah, just had to get some honeydews off the honeydew list this morning. Sorry, I'm late. I had to mow the yard before it got to 117 here in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to hit 116, 117 up here in Vegas today too. So you are not suffering alone, my friend. But at least you got is that Bucky?
Yeah, we got a new Bucky's here in Phoenix.
Nice. Well, you know what? We'll have to go to Bucky's when we come down for Full Gear.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Full Gear is going to be a great show.
Yep. And by the way, that reminds me too, AEW Dynamite. If you haven't got your tickets yet, I haven't looked to see where we're at, but it's going to be at the Palms on August 12th. They're doing Dynamite and Collision. Two shows in one from AEW. So make sure you go to AEWTix.com and get your tickets, and you can join.
Yep, I'll be like Ric Flair. You can show up to the hotel bar at the Gold Coast Wednesday night after the show. Stop by. We'll all be there.
We're having are we doing a hangout?
Well, it's going to be at the Palms or the Gold Coast. I'm staying at the Gold Coast. So it's going to be a fun night one way or another.
Okay. Let's make it a semi-official hangout at the Gold Coast.
We'll see what's up.
Okay. We'll talk off air about that. We probably should, instead of making plans on air. That's usually doesn't work out very well. All right, Coach, let's start banging away on SummerSlam, and hopefully we'll get Phil in here too shortly. But as I was saying, it was all right. I'm not trying to downplay the efforts of everybody, but the matches were at best pretty good, solid. At worst, nothing horrible. But I hate to say it, Coach. It's another day of WWE giving us B to B plus pro wrestling.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed God Bless America more than I enjoyed a lot of the matches. I'll tell you that.
Wow. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. We're going to talk about that. Phil Stamper's made it.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
Oh, man. The president of wrestling.
No, we're not doing that.
No?
No pastiches.
I just did it.
It's an authority figure.
Yeah.
Not an elected official.
Then why aren't you the dictator of pro wrestling?
Because that's a weird appointment.
But that's what you did. You appointed yourself. You said it's not an elected position. You appointed yourself. That is a dictator. And there's no benevolent authoritarian stuff in there. You are a dictator, Phil Stamper. Am I wrong?
I'm not going to go where my brain was going to go. How are you, sir? Good morning.
Oh, dude. I have to save a little bit of time for this story from this weekend. Of part of why I'm half unconscious right now.
That boy.
I will just lead into this. I made a paid trip to Pahrump.
Oh, that boy. Yeah.
And boy, I should have got a lot more for it, but that's neither here nor there, but it's a fun story. So, well, first, you mentioned Trips and Stephanie's daughter taking the stage right off the bat as Vaughn Evelyn sings "America the Beautiful." Should we critique it?
No, I don't think if anyone's going to tear down a young person for trying to make their dreams come true and to have the guts to go sing in front of a worldwide audience, that's terrible. I compliment the young lady and congratulations on your rendition of God Bless America. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, she hung in there. She did fine. Phil, did you were you surprised? I think I was more surprised to see Trips' daughter out there more than anything else. The singing, forget it. I'm not worried about it. But
WWE's always been best with nepotism.
Oh, okay, that's a fair point. But hey, congratulations to her, man. And Coach, you're right. That takes huevos rancheros to go out there and sing in front of like 40,000 people ish. So kind of
wasn't like she was Carl Lewis or anything.
No, not a Carl Lewis, not a Roseanne Barr rendition of anything. Thank God.
She did great.
Yeah, she was fine. I know some people were hitting her for missing a note or two, but she did great. All right. So, guys, let's get into day one of SummerSlam. Kick it off. Pretty solid match. Liv Morgan, Io Sky. Liv wins. And I got to tell you, ESPN was hurting her on some of their chyrons. I don't know if you guys saw that they put up that she hadn't defended her title in 100 days when they were doing their preview. I mean, wow. What a smack to Liv Morgan. It's not her fault. She doesn't have the pencil. But a pretty good job between these two ladies. But a lot of people were surprised Liv won, and I'm like, why? Why, Phil, would anybody be surprised? She's probably their hottest female commodity right now.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, and I'm sure we're gonna get to the press release in a minute, or the press conference, in a minute. But she just simply is.
And everybody forgets how good she is, Coach. She is a great wrestler. She has come so far, and she has the right combination of the skills and the charisma to help carry the division. Like I said, I don't know why they haven't been leaning on her more. I really don't.
Yeah, and she's tough. Over the last month, not only did she get that big goose egg on her head and just kept rolling with it, but then she got her eye busted last night and just kept rolling through the punches. She's a trooper, and she's someone that can be the bridge between SummerSlam and Royal Rumble, because this is the slow period. And without Rhea around, there's not much to look at or not much to see wrestle. And she fills that void.
Yeah. And personally, I think she's hotter than Rhea right now. I really do. But that's just me. But Liv Morgan holds on to the Women's World Championship. 6-man tag match. And I have a nice side topic off of this one. Because, it's a 6-man match. It was, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, Royce Keys taking on the Bloodline. LA Knight, Solo, and Royce win. So the Bloodline takes a loss. First on that, Coach, why are they setting the rest of the Bloodline up to be losers? Especially when you added Jacob Fatu in this group. It just seems like they're not worried about those guys taking losses, even though you're trying to build the group up, or are they? Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know. A couple of weeks ago, Roman made the mandate that Jay needs to go win a singles title, and all of a sudden that was thrown away, and this 6-man was created. But this 6-man opened us up to even more of a new side of Solo Sikoa. And when he bust out with them dance moves last night, and when he pretty much punked Jay by doing the whole yeet, man, doesn't matter if you're in the internet wrestling community or just some kid in the crowd, that popped all of us because that was hilarious. Mocking him like that.
It was. And Phil, that's where I kind of want to take the discussion here. Once again, everybody's grading this thing out as B plus, some C's I saw out there. But you have people like Solo who are all of a sudden, when they get to demonstrate their personality, like he's been able to do the past few weeks. Solo performed around here. So did LA Knight. They're FSW alums. People know who they are and who they're capable of being. Why? And why doesn't WWE lean into this more? Why don't they let these guys get turned loose and be themselves? Show a little heart, show a little fun, show a little mean side if they want. Because I was watching this card and I'm thinking that's kind of what's missing to me. AEW may take it too far sometimes where they're really letting everybody do their thing, sometimes to the detriment on occasion. But I just feel like that, we're watching a TV series. We're watching a group of 3 movies or something like that. And we're not getting pulled in. So is that fair?
It is fair. It is very fair. People have always talked. For 2 decades, we've been talking about the disconnect of the WWE and its fans. It's been highlighted more and more in the last couple of years. That's part A. It's a lot, and is it what is happening? Because there's not that sense of control that you get when you watch a WWE program. So you have to find a median in there somewhere. And right now, I think all of those people aren't at freedom to experiment as much without that possibility of the risk of losing your job.
Agreed.
And more what I feel like I keep hearing from people who are at the WWE level isn't about how do I advance, how do I keep going, how do I do more, how do I show more. It's how do I risk not losing my job. That's the question that
really that's interesting,
right? And that's a very different kind of atmosphere then you're working towards. Then trying to please the fans, then trying to do something that's going to highlight yourself and show off a little bit more, because now you're like, well, I don't want to lose my job. This is my livelihood, my payday.
Yeah. That's very interesting to hear that. And Coach, I think that when you heard Triple H talk, and we're going to get more into his comments this weekend because wow, he's been on a roll. I think that WWE is making a mistake. That Trips was talking about how the fans should be doing this, the fans should be doing that, but they're not. I don't think they're looking at the people that are consuming their product the right way. They should be looking at them as customers, not as just some goofball sitting in the stand going, yeah. These are people that are paying money to come to your events, buy your merchandise, watch your shows, and you have to cater to that customer. And there, like Phil mentioned, but it feels like there's some sort of disconnect there, that they're struggling to bridge that gap between the performers and the customers. Do you think that's a fair way to put it?
Well, I don't like to think of it that way. Damn, I don't want to be considered a customer as a wrestling fan. I want, part of being a wrestling fan is that you feel like you're a part of it. And I think that is the disconnect, because a lot of times they're thinking of us as a per dollar, per seat number, instead of someone who's invested in the program, someone that's been around for years and years, someone that promotes you guys online, offline, who does the deal of being a wrestling fan. I know those numbers are few and far between, and the customer, unfortunately, is the one that is driving a lot of the storylines and a lot of the angles in professional wrestling. So it makes complete sense to me. It just kind of disheartens me to see where we've come to in our great sport.
Well, and there, and to your point, I do sense your disdain about that. But we also you do have to realize that if Hollywood's been putting out a lot of bad movies. Very few movies in maybe the last 5 years have struck chords with people that, people have just been dying to go see movies at the theater, because while they're putting out what they think is a good product, the customers aren't buying it. And I think that they've treated their customers very badly, coming from a customer service background, that you look at all the ticket prices and just the comments that have gotten made, and some of the things that moves that WWE has made, they've forgotten that side of it. That, yeah, I agree, the fandom, I think, should take first precedence. We want to have fun, but I do think that we've lost track of, you gotta treat the people when they walk in your door the right way, and WWE hasn't, and they're not quite giving us what they want, or what we want. So yeah, tricky spot. See, this is what we talk about on our show, because we're freaking brilliant. We take it to the next two levels with guys like Coach Rosie, with guys like Phil Stamper. They are awesome. And, I'm okay, I guess. But we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll keep rolling on SummerSlam. Nick Aldis is back! Thank you, God. Now, can we get Scrap Daddy in there, too? Please? Please? I've been begging for a year. Hey, stick around. More on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDON 101.5 FM, Talk of Las Vegas, best in pro wrestling. We'll be right back.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Furnished by IntelliBrands. Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Get an Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation without physical strain or impact. Improve your flexibility and balance, strengthen and tone your legs.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better, and it makes me feel stronger too.
My circulation is moving. I'm burning calories, and it makes me feel energetic.
It's so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Call now and order Ellipse, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. And for a limited time, get a free upgrade to our deluxe bundle with a faster motor, sport mat, and wireless remote.
Call 800-711-4973. That's 800-711-4973. 800-711-4973 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
As a parent, I had no idea that I could choose my child's school in the Clark County School District. We switched to a 4-star school that has robotics and a chess club, and my son has never been happier.
CCSD offers choices when it comes to your child's school. You might be surprised to learn that there are open seats available across many schools in the Clark County School District, including high-performing 4- and 5-star schools. Open enrollment lets you choose the CCSD school that's right for your family, as long as they have seats available. You might even qualify for up to $1,000 to cover transportation costs.
We are so happy that we got to choose a CCSD school that works for us.
School registration is happening now for the 2026-2027 school year. Visit itsyourchoice.ccsd.net to search for CCSD schools with available seats. It's your choice. This message sponsored by the Clark County School District, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDON.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Yeah, I drove to Pahrump at 1 a.m. Oh boy, oh boy. Now I'm gonna have to
for context. How far away is that?
It is about an 80 to 90 minute drive from Las Vegas.
Okay.
On an Uber trip, but like I said, save the story for later.
Did you have to wait for the customer? Was he quick to finish?
Oh Lord.
Oh, Coach Rosie, you're such a terrible human, but we love you. It's okay. By the way, I promised this shout out. For those that didn't know, I have a new employment working for Summer Point Resorts here in Las Vegas, and I have been mandated because they are completely working around my work schedule for the most part. Thank you to Ryan, Jamie, and my trainer, Danielle. You're awesome. There, no, I'm not going to get fired. All right, back to SummerSlam. Gunther and Nick Aldis, and I'll be frank, this was the match on night one that I was most excited about. I wanted to see what Nick Aldis was going to do. Man, comes out, got some Oasis playing, all pumped up, and put on, I thought, a pretty good match, guys, with Gunther. It worked out, I think, about as well as it could. I'm still don't like the whole situation that they put both of them in. I would have rather seen maybe Nick get somebody else, but it was cool. Coach, Nick Aldis, former NWA World Champion. What'd you think?
No, I loved it. I mean, if you love pro wrestling, you love Nick Aldis. Do I want to see him on my screen every week? No, I think that would take away some of the lore, some of the intrigue behind it. But last night got me in my feels. Obviously, it started with the when he came out with the music and all that, but just the whole emotion. And then at the end of the match, his wife and kids come out. That's the kind of stuff that we need more in professional wrestling. And we had it for one night last night, and we knew that Gunther was going to lose. And if you were delusional and thought that Nick Aldis was going to win and have a huge run, well, they got you. And for that one night, it was special, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it went really well. But I will say this, Phil, there's probably going to be a lot of people in the back that are going to be pretty jealous that WWE shelled out the money for Morning Glory to play. I mean, a lot of those guys played their songs when they were on the indies and stuff. They got to be a little bit ticked, but otherwise, I think a real good showing for Nick Aldis. Where do you go with Nick Aldis from here? Coach said, we're not going to see him every weekend. I'm sure we won't, other than he's back in his role as GM of SmackDown. But I'll be frank, I'd love to see more Nick Aldis.
I think that's it, though. I think he just rolls back into his GM position. Thank you, Nick Aldis. Like that's what we get. There's no change to the standard. There's no big flames burning down the house. Like this is just, oh, okay, he had his match. Okay, now next. On to the next.
I don't want next. Well, I want one next. I want him and Scrap Daddy. I'm going to keep tweeting them until they do it. But yeah, and Gunther gets a win. Coach, where does Gunther go? This is going to be pretty fascinating. We got a lot of guys at the top of the card here. What do you do with Gunther?
Good question. They haven't even figured it out yet. Otherwise, they would have done it.
Good point.
I mean, what are you going to say? CM Punk? I'd like him to fight the Werewolf. Why not? Shit. Sorry. Shoot. That'd be a huge match right off the jump. You know, the most fiercest, toughest competitor against someone that can't be beat. You know, why can't we have that for a one-off? But again, he's lingering in obscurity when I guess I can only assume that they don't think he can carry the strap, because he's definitely has the credentials with who he's beat and the style of wrestler that he is. But does he have the charisma and does he have the mic skills to get a big run? That's still to be seen. I'd like to see it, and I don't think I will for some time being.
Phil, Coach brings up an interesting point. Does Gunther have what it takes to carry the strap? I think he does, but you're out there, man. You're in the ring. You guys all talk. What do you think?
I mean, he's imposing. You've shown the dominance he can have as a performer, as a talent. He can be intimidating. The scare factor isn't there. Like he's this big evil dominant heel, but I'm not afraid of him.
Oh, really?
And like I'm
going on the X machine right now.
Right. Don't get me wrong.
Now.
Don't get me wrong. He, physically imposing dude, even just by height alone. But at the same time, like, okay, he's just a crude. I was gonna say some language I can't say. He's just a crude dude who will beat you, and that's fine. But that personality wise, I have some question marks, but at the same time, like, he's shown that dominance. They've been putting him over that way. Okay, he's a Goldberg who can actually wrestle. So, like, great, keep going in that direction. That also means he might not necessarily need the championship. If you're already showing somebody who's so dominant as a performer, dominant as a talent, well, okay, so you put the title on him. Does that mean then you have a plan that he's holding on that title for an extremely long period of time because he's beaten everybody to get it? So it's sort of like, if that payoff is the championship, well, then you've now disqualified a whole rung of your talent that now can't take him down.
Good point. Yeah, he's in a weird spot. We'll see what WWE does with him. By the way, in the chat box, and by the way, if you haven't gotten in one of our chat boxes, come on in, man. X at Mark Hoke Show, YouTube and Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Come join us. Just like our good friend Javon Campbell, 8357, says, Imperium was Gunther's golden gimmick, in my opinion. Yeah, I remember SummerSlam when it was here, and Roman was in the ring, and I wanted Imperium to come out so bad. Either Imperium or Undisputed Era would have been awesome. But yeah, we got Brock. But the Imperium was awesome. But anyway, women's match. Oh, God. 6-man fatal influence against the Bella Twins and Paige. Paige takes the fall. Brie gets hurt, but they decide to beat the crap out of Paige, even though Paige was kind enough to step in and save their possible tag team title reign, and just we're gonna repay Paige by beating her up. I'll be honest with you, I didn't care about this match. And Coach, I don't even know if I care about a potential feud between the Bellas and Paige and AJ Lee. That's the rumor I'm hearing. The match was okay, but do you care about this at all?
I cared about this match so much that this is when I barbecued the hamburgers and hot dogs in the backyard, got them ready. It was about midway through the card. And in about 15 or 20 minutes, I think it was only an 8-minute match, I had 3 or 4 medium rare hamburgers, a couple hot dogs for the kids and I, and we were ready for the second half of the show.
So you had the Burger Twins. Okay, got that. Phil, is this just us being guys?
Sorry, you popped me with the Burger Twins.
Thank you. Is this just us being guys and saying, "Oh, geez, I just don't care"? Because there are a lot of female fans that love the Bellas, but I just,
well, and
I'm bored with it. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it, and I keep getting it.
Right. The Bellas are also they are known people. Like they have a little bit of awareness in the common entertainment industry beyond just professional wrestling. So there is that little bit of an awareness of them. So I see why they're there. I see, okay, we're going to bring more eyes to the product. SummerSlam is WrestleMania in the summer. It's the big one of the big 4 pay-per-views. So, okay, let's bring in more, especially now that they've gone to 2 days. And I will say I'm surprised at times the Bellas pull out stuff that I'm like, oh, they can do that. They're because people I think from who have watched years ago think of them as they were the top divas of the day, but I think they've gone beyond that. I do think they give something more and something better. Was I looking forward to this match? Not at all. At the same time, I get why it's there. I get what its placement. I totally don't blame Coach for barbecuing.
Well,
but I will say this: Fatal Influence.
Oh yeah,
they are right now, I would say, the top female up and coming group in all of professional wrestling.
I agree 100%.
I mean, all eyes are on them, but when you're regurgitating, legends, has-beens, however you want to put it, into a match with this young talent, I think it's just a passing of the torch. And I think the Fatal Influence, if there are quality women's talent in WWE, you got to find them to put up against JC Jane and Fatal Influence, because they're good.
I would agree with you. And but it's just a shame. And look, I understand the appeal of the Bellas. I'm not gonna debate that. But you had Fatal Influence get a big win against 3 very well-known wrestlers. And who's in the ring at the end? And we got a beat down of Paige that just doesn't make any sense. And with the Bellas, with Nikki getting hurt, now Bree's hurt. Oh, what a mess that's going to be. Yeah, we'll hit it real quick. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes going for the undisputed WWE Championship. Solid match. Poor Charles Robinson takes a super Cody cutter. That poor guy, man. Charles is in his 60s. Stop making him take these bumps. It's not cool. But Randy Orton shows up, RKO's Cody Rhodes, and Punk finishes the job. CM Punk walks out with the title, and Cody Rhodes walks out with a big problem. I will say, I think it was the biggest pop of the night when Randy showed up, Phil. So, Cody's going to have something to do here, but let's say that feud gets rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins it? People are dying for Randy to get back and win a world championship again. Cody's in a bad spot.
If Randy is physically able to go, because there's been some questions of, is he injured? What's going on? Is he in the right? I mean, he's always a physical specimen. He looks great. He's a tremendous athlete. But if he's injured, how much can he do? My question is then, okay, is there this little side moment with it's Cody and Randy, or is it going to be a little bit of a swerve and we get on Raw Randy coming out and going, "Hey Punk, I did this as a favor. Where's mine in return?" And it goes that direction. I can also see that very easily be triggered.
Coach, which way do you go then? Let's assume Randy's back. Do you keep him feuding with Cody so Cody's got something to do so he doesn't have to chase the championship? Or, as Phil suggested, do you send him on to take on CM Punk and get another world title?
I say you listen to Damian Priest and stop flip-flopping all these main 4 guys, 5 guys in storylines, and give some of the younger guys an opportunity to show what they really have. But if you want to choose one opportunity or the other, I say you give Cody a little bit of a break, and you give Randy Orton against CM Punk.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, Coach Keith Morrison in the chat box said, "Thank God for Randy Orton." I'll ignore the accidental typo there, but yeah, thank God for Randy Orton. He's a good dude. But yeah, so Punk is out of there, still has his title. We'll see where the road leads. He and Obafemi were talking smack on the post shows. So I don't know. We'll find out. But we're going to talk about that Obafemi guy. Just some wrestler dude. Main evented SummerSlam. We'll discuss that and much more. We'll talk about night 2. We've got AEW Redemption. We've got all sorts of other stories, including what was one of the worst segments of all time on Monday Night Raw this week. Oh, we'll get into it later on. Stick around, everybody, on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
The U.S. Treasury quietly released its official financial report for 2025. It appears by its own numbers, the U.S. government seems insolvent. It's reported that the Treasury shows about $6 trillion in assets and over $47 trillion in liabilities. Add it all up, and it looks like the U.S. owes more than $130 trillion it doesn't have. If that were a family, they'd earn $52,000 a year, spend $73,000, and already be more than $1 million underwater. Any accountant would call that insolvent. So how does the government fix this? It can print money, which erodes your purchasing power, it can raise taxes, or it can cut benefits. And none of those can help to protect you. That's why many people who have something to lose move part of their savings into physical gold and silver, assets that can't be printed, defaulted on, or voted away. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide and a no-pressure conversation. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
May is Wildfire Awareness Month, and every Nevadan has a role to play. Wildfire doesn't wait. It moves fast, driven by wind, heat, and dry conditions in the Nevada high desert. It only takes one spark to put lives, homes, and communities at risk in minutes. Become wildfire ready with 3 simple actions. First, make a plan. Know your evacuation routes. Pack a disaster supply bag. Sign up for local emergency alerts. Second, prepare your home. Clear dead vegetation. Clean your roof and gutters. Move anything flammable away from your home. Creating defensible space can save your property and your life. Third, know before you go. On red flag warning days, avoid activities that can spark a fire, like a backyard fire pit or target shooting. For more information, visit oem.nv.gov. Sponsored by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Nevada Office of Emergency Management Homeland Security, and your local emergency manager's office, in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
1015 FM KDON.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was not a bell. That was Phil Stamper's head that I was hitting.
Hey.
I apologize, everybody, on that live stream. Are you okay, Phil? I didn't mean to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! This is what you get with me on no sleep.
That's
Just
fair.
It's a real hootenanny. Phil Stamper, Coach Rosie, and my.
we're gonna drive past hootenanny and not address it.
Right.
It's a great word.
It is a good word. I'm impressed you know it, sir.
Well, thank you. I'm from South Central Pennsylvania, so I know them kind of words. You know, we had hoedowns and things like that.
Deep in the South Central.
Yeah, right. I was going to say.
That was always my joke too when we'd be traveling around. Yeah, I'm from South Central. L.A.? No, Pennsylvania. Sorry, Amish area. Sort of. Anyway,
it doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know.
Gettysburg, or is that too far east?
15 miles from Gettysburg.
Okay.
I grew up in. I don't know if you've ever driven through the unbelievable metropolis of East Berlin, Pennsylvania.
Yes, I have.
But that is my hometown. I
Okay.
was there before we got the traffic light.
Okay. Fair. Very fair.
I don't know how I remembered that, but okay. Main event yesterday, Obafemi, Brock Lesnar. Solid match. We get the torch passing. Obafemi gets the big win. Brock tries to do a throwback tombstone pile driver from his battles with The Undertaker. But Oba walks out with the win. Brock apparently not retired, though. They are not. He didn't leave any gear in the ring. No announcements or anything like that. So maybe Brock's still going to be hanging around. He could end up being in the main event scene if they keep him. But I think people were just banging on the match a little bit because it was a Hell in a Cell and they didn't really use the cell that much. Coach, what did you think of this whole thing? And we have the official coronation of Obafemi, or we still got work to do?
No, I liked it. I liked the flow of the match. I mean, I think people wanted more violence or whatnot, and that's fine if that's what you want. I don't need that. I needed a good hard-hitting match with some false finishes, and I needed that passing of the torch. You know, there is a protocol. There is, ways that our great sport is run, and when an old bull comes up against a young lion and their storyline is over, the least they can do is give them that rub and put them over. And Brock did that. It showed a new side of Brock because he hasn't really ever done that with anybody else. And he's kind of maybe done it once or twice, but he really showed the world to Obafemi and gave him his seal of approval, because there's nobody in professional wrestling or in mixed martial arts or in the fighting business that is more decorated than Brock Lesnar. So for him to get a seal of approval for him goes a long way.
So, Phil, here's the question with Obafemi.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are interesting possibilities for him moving forward. At least they had the little verbal tete-a-tete between him and Punk. But rumor mill is saying that WWE is not going to be pushing him towards championships anytime in the immediate future. Phil, I hate to say this, but can WWE screw up Obafemi?
Yes. And anybody could, really, but I don't. I'd like to find out more about why, because the things that I would have questions about were things that existed before they did this run with Brock Lesnar. Unless it was just the fact of, hey, he's a big dude, Brock's about to retire, we need a big dude to take him out. I don't know. In that case, if that was genuinely it too, then it would have been, well, why not? Then, Gunther, let him continue that streak of retiring people. Great.
Maybe they are. Maybe that's why they didn't announce Brock retiring. They might still want to do that match, which would be fun. If they would turn those two loose, God, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome. But I thought good finish for the night one. Give your letter grades, guys. Coach, what'd you think?
Solid B.
Solid B. Yeah. Phil?
B minus if we gave them any more. We don't give pluses and minuses anymore in school, but it would be a lock B minus.
Lock B minus. Phil?
C plus.
C plus. Yeah, I'm right around that B too.
There, something I noticed, and I made a snarky comment this morning on my X account, which you can follow at Trust and Phil. I was on an event last weekend with Wrestling Revolver in Nashville, and it trended on Twitter for 2 or 3 days. I didn't see anything until actually about 30 minutes ago was the first thing I saw about SummerSlam on X. And so it's like, oh, that's interesting. And then I reflect back on, because I do the indie calendar, there were a lot of independent events running over top of SummerSlam. Now, that's either A, because just that's how fan viewing was and just how the business was split, or B, because night 2 is looked at as the bigger night. And will tonight be the night that trends and we get the oh wow and oh shocking and big twist moments that'll make people be more apt to talk about what happened at SummerSlam?
Yeah, it does bring up an interesting point, Coach, about night 1, night 2. After this issue with attendance, do they consider maybe going back to a one-day show on this?
No, because that hurts the bottom line. I mean, if they're going to have what they're having 12 matches, I mean, we complain enough sitting through an AEW show, 12 matches with all them commercials. It'll be like that one WrestleMania they had in New York that ended at like 1 or 2 in the morning. I like the 2 matches. I mean, I like the 2 days. I like breaking it up. I think tonight's card is a little less, I don't know the word. It's just not as good as night 1, but there are some matches on there that are really intriguing.
Yes, you know, I would agree.
Yeah, the Trick Williams match, I think he's going to really cement himself tonight. I'm not really feeling the Seth Roman match. You know, they built that up way too early with when they were talking stuff 3 or 4 weeks ago. Those promos were great, but they've kind of stumbled across the finish line, and they haven't had that steam that they once had 3 or 4 weeks ago. So I think when we're all said and done after tonight, I don't think the Roman Seth match will be the one that we're talking about. It'll be something else from tonight. And then when we're all said and done in August, I think the London show will prove out to be a much better show than SummerSlam.
Very interesting. I also, a quick observation when I was out driving around last night, stopped in at a Terrible's gas station, and they have TVs over where they sucker everybody in with their slot machines. And I just happened to be seeing Sports Center, and they were showing Brock Lesnar and Obafemi highlights on Sports Center, Phil Stamper. And I was sitting there saying to myself, now are they in bed together? Yes. But I never dreamed I'd see the day that there would be SummerSlam highlights on Sports Center in about a minute.
ESPN's been covering WWE stuff for years. I'm not shocked at all.
But not like that. Not like that. They've done mentions and they've done some interviews, but to put it in Sports Center, showing highlights of the main event, that's next level.
Last Sunday, I was at the gym and they kept on replay on ESPN. It was like the countdown to SummerSlam that just kept cycling. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting on ESPN. Like, so I'm not shocked. I'm really not shocked.
Yeah, but I thought that was kind of cool. So, by the way, real quick in the chat box, Coach Keith Morrison says, I'm from the old school. A cage match with no blood is like a woman who wears underwear with a sundress. It doesn't make any sense. Hey, comment of the day. Comment of the day. Way to go, Coach. All right, we are going to step back and take our break from hour 1 to hour 2. Boy, you thought hour 1 was fun. Oh, Coach Rosie, Phil Stamper, and me, we're going to be firing it up for hour number 2, which means you've got to be here. Get in that chat box, man. You can talk to Coach and Javon and all the guys in there. Go to YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, X at Mark Hoke Show. Hop in any one of those live streaming locations, and you can say hi to Coach Rosie and Phil. And if you want to say hi to me, it's okay too. I mean, it's only my show. But thank you for being with us first hour. Hour 2 coming up. We got night 2 of SummerSlam, a weird evening. We have AEW Redemption. We got a couple of new champions in there. One I think is a little bit of a surprise. What happened? And we will talk about the segment. The segment. Oh, dear God. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back for hour 2 on The Mark Hoke Show. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com
and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Now is the time to refinance your auto loan with One Nevada Credit Union and put more chips back in your stack. With no payments for 90 days, you could score a better rate, lower your monthly payment, and keep more of your hard-earned money right where it belongs, in your pocket. That's money you can use for bills, savings, or a little more fun. It's fast, it's easy, and it's all about putting you in a better financial position. One Nevada Credit Union. We're all in with our members. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender. You wouldn't put your life savings into a slot machine, so why keep it at a big bank where every month can feel like a gamble? At One Nevada Credit Union, we aren't playing games with your money. You get stability, local service, and better rates. Stop pulling the lever and hoping for the best. Switch to One Nevada Credit Union. Don't gamble with big banks. Federally insured by NCUA.
I love a girls' weekend, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin, thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
You can usually find me in the kitchen, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm still in the mix with Skyrizi to treat my joint symptoms.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe at 4 months.
Or if you're an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Are you ready for when the next disaster hits? What about your family or your community? August is Emergency Management Awareness Month. Take steps now to get ahead of the next disaster. Free training opportunities are available to help you learn disaster preparedness and survival skills. You can find accessibility resources tailored to your individual needs to create a plan for any occasion. Make sure you're signed up for emergency alerts and know where to look for up-to-date information. The Nevada Office of Emergency Management is your guide this month, walking you through how they work behind the scenes to help our neighborhoods when they need it most. Get involved and know your emergency manager. For more information, visit oem.nv.gov. Sponsored by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Nevada Office of Emergency Management Homeland Security, and your local emergency manager's office, in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
KMXB HD3 Henderson, K260HCS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDON.
A massive wave of strikes on Iran halted for now. I'm Ann Carrick, Fox News. President Trump claims the U.S. and Iran are closer to a peace deal. Fox's Rebecca Castor has the details from Washington.
President Trump says the perimeters of a deal have been reached with Iran. That include the immediate and total opening of the Strait of Hormuz. And that is why Iran and other Middle Eastern countries have asked him to hold off on this attack. According to Axios, that decision came after the Saudi crown prince spoke with President Trump yesterday and expressed concerns over his plans for massive new strikes against Iran. It was said to be one of the largest bombing campaigns on Iran to date and likely would have targeted energy infrastructure. Qatari mediators held separate talks with U.S., Iranian, and Omani officials yesterday on reopening the strait. Axios reports those talks made progress.
Saudi Arabia reportedly is concerned its energy infrastructure could be targeted by Iran if the U.S. followed through with the strikes. Iran responding it was neither surprised nor passive, and it remains alert. A wildfire in Spokane, Washington has burned more than 3,000 acres. Fox Weather's Adam Klotz has the latest.
Winds, dry conditions, hot conditions, all spurring on these fires. There's a number of them across the western United States, a whole lot actually across the Pacific Northwest, and smoke's funneling out into the country. Some of the thickest smoke across portions of the Intermountain West getting down into Texas. The upper level winds really driving that. Still a risk for some wildfires today across portions of Montana as the weather's dry. And yes, it's still hot. Heat alerts across the west, including Montana, but stretching down into the desert Southwest. We are going to see some records fall today. Colorado to Wyoming, all over 100 degrees. Phoenix, closer to 115 degrees.
Washington State Governor Bob Ferguson declared a state of emergency. Almost 2 million acres across the Pacific Northwest have been burned by wildfires this season. A burn ban also is in effect to prevent new fires. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
Your back-to-back Los Angeles Dodgers baseball is coming up this afternoon at 3. And the talk you love is always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartMedia, or TuneIn apps. Just search for KDAWN in Las Vegas.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, we're back for hour number 2. You bet your sweet bippy.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm dropping more words for Phil Stamper, by the way. I hope he's enjoying it. Bippy.
Bippy.
You've probably been dropped on your bippy a few times in your pro wrestling career, Phil.
But you said Aunt Bippy, didn't you?
What?
I don't think you said the expression the way you thought you said the expression.
I don't care. It's my show. I can do what I want.
Fair.
But we're having a great time. Coach Rosie, Phil Stamper, 2 awesome guys who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to pro wrestling, joining me here. By the way, I have a little housekeeping thing to take care of too. In Las Vegas today, one of my best friends, Chad Holloway, who is one of the managing editors over at Poker News, they are recording their 1,000th Poker News podcast today over at the Poker Ghost Studios. If you are interested, you're going to want to hit Chad up on his social media, but just look up Chad A. Holloway. He has an A in his because he likes to be a little pretentious, but that's okay. So the 1,000th Poker News podcast. Of course, I used to do a poker radio show, and yeah, very happy for Chad doing 1,000 shows. Been there. It ain't easy. So it should be a fun time over at the Poker Ghost Studios. Great. SummerSlam Day 2 coming up at us tonight. I don't even know what to think of this one, guys. There is palace intrigue because to me, this is what direction are people going to end up going? Are they going up the food chain or down the food chain more in any of these matches tonight? I mean, it's going to be fascinating to see where this turns up. I am going to start, though, because I've been hyping this a little bit. We've got Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio tonight. Danhausen supposedly ripped the Judgment Day off for $100,000 in human monies. And somehow we now have the first ever human monies on a pole match. That's right, kids. Human monies on a pole. Now, if that was in Las Vegas, we see that every night.
Or Bronx.
I didn't see any strip clubs in Peru. I'm sure there probably were, but I don't know. But unfortunately, in the lead up to this, we had a Joe Hendry and Danhausen concert with many Danhausens and like 12 lords of leaping and 9 ladies dancing, and oh my god, it was insane. You know, it's so hard to describe how unbelievable this was. And then the boxer Ryan Garcia comes in. He's hanging out at ringside, and as we were talking about celebrity interjections in the last hour, it's out of blue. Ryan Garcia gets in the ring. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, yay!" You know, and then Ryan Garcia hits Joe Hendry with a guitar out of the blue. Dominic and JD McDonough come in. They're beating everybody up, and that's what we got. We got mini-housens and dancers and probably the most controversial boxer on the planet who has been known to say stupid stuff, all of a sudden just pops up and bashes Joe Hendry. It has been labeled one of the worst segments of Raw of all time. I'll give it to Coach first. Coach, do you agree with that assessment?
No, I will not agree with that assessment.
All right.
But I will agree that it wasn't very good because Ryan Garcia does not have he's got like the wrong kind of heat.
Yeah.
You know, people do not like him as a fighter. People don't like him as a character. They consider him, you know, not even a chicken, you know what, heel. You know, he is not someone that is to be looked up to as someone that's tough and mean and has bravado. So to put him in there and attack Danhausen didn't make a lot of sense to me. Was it one of the worst? Probably not, but it wasn't good.
I believe that you are cursed was what they were doing. Phil Stamper. It was Joe doing I believe you, and Danhausen, you are cursed.
Okay.
Just, Dude. Why? Why the whole thing?
All right, is Ryan Garcia fighting in one of Jake Paul's boxing matches coming up?
Yes.
That's why.
September 12th. Yeah.
It's just direct cross promotion from a crowd that might be interested in seeing it. Maybe, possibly. You have Logan Paul in the show. What can I say? Bring in Ryan Garcia. Like, I think it all wraps up. It makes sense. Okay, cross promotion done. Do I think it's the worst segment in Raw history? No,
it's not the worst.
Naked Midian.
Trish Stratus bark like a dog.
Yeah, there's that too.
That was pretty terrible. But so this leads into this match tonight. Now WWE has an interesting booking decision. Does Danhausen, Mr. Popularity, Mr. Overexposed, and people are saying it now, they're jumping on the Hulkamania bandwagon with this. Nothing against Danhausen, but I think they're pushing it a little too much. Does Danhausen take his first loss tonight, or do you dare put Danhausen over a guy who, by the time we were through with WrestleMania, might have been one of the top 3 guys in terms of popularity in WWE? Phil, who wins this match tonight? And how screwed is the loser? That's a good second question.
Actually, it's a better way to frame this question. Dominic retains. Danhausen, doesn't matter if he wins or loses. It's still Danhausen. He's gonna.
Coach, I'm going to disagree with Phil on this because I think if Danhausen loses, you take some of the sparkle off of him. I didn't like this booking at all.
He walks away with dancing mini triplets of himself. Like,
nobody likes them. I mean, personally, I'm sure people like them, but just the mini Danhausen, no, God, drop it. Coach, what do you think?
Well, I think I'm going to be making some hamburgers during this one as well today. If this was a regular match where it wasn't like something on a pole, I would say Dominic losing would be crushing to him because he's a AAA champion. He beat John Cena in the retirement tour, got his title back. It was all rocket ships all on Dominic, and
it
hasn't been very good for him lately. But since this is a gimmick match with something on a pole, a Bitcoin on a cone, on a pole, whatever they want to do, they're going to make sure that Danhausen wins it because they want those clips. They want those viral moments. You're probably going to see Justin Jefferson. I don't know how they're going to spin him into this match, but they'll throw something in that clone machine or do something where something else comes out that creates a moment. And ultimately, Dominic will win because there'll be a lot of eyes on him, but he's going to lose the match.
You can't have the AAA mega champion lose to Danhausen. You can't do it. So I expect Dominic to go over, but there will be, I will make a bold prediction that there will be pyrotechnics on the top of the pole. Somebody's going to get scalded from pyro in this match.
Maybe it'll be Marcus Bagwell's mom on a pole. Who knows? Bring her as a clone.
Oh, come on.
No,
you went there.
I got it. I totally got it.
Uh-oh.
Spark. Okay, you want to curse. Dominic climbs up, grabs the pole, sparks go off in his face, and now he has to wear a mask.
Wow. Phil Stamper, everybody.
Something.
See, we are the booking committee. We should be
There you
handling
go.
stuff.
The president
One of us,
and the dictator.
If this happens, I want this clipped. I want this everywhere. I will make it go viral.
Okay, you do that. You do that. We also have a crossroads match. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor. The winner is the #1 contender for the undisputed WWE Championship. I'm going to be curious. I mean, you would think Sammy's going to get this, but I would personally love to see Finn Balor get another shot at it. Coach, who's going over? And what happens to the loser on this one?
I don't think there's going to be a loser. I think this is going to be the match of the night. I think the emotions in this match are going to be tremendous. I think Sammy is going to come away with the title. I think him and Punk will fight it, whatever the next PLE is, or there'll be about a 3 or 4 week storyline towards that. And Finn will get screwed again. I'd love to see Finn get an opportunity after what happened to him, all those years ago, 10 years ago, but that's not the way this business is anymore. It's just not that way. So he's going to do the job. He's going to create some memories. I wish he would come out as a demon tonight. I don't know if that's on the agenda, but people love Finn Balor and people love Sami Zayn. And who knows? Do we see Kevin Owens?
I hope so. I had seen a post yesterday that went up that said, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are both close to returning. Well, Randy showed up, so maybe we'll get Kevin too. Phil, let me hit you with, no, I want to say that one for Coach. This women's match. And first, the burial of Julia on SmackDown by Lash Legend as she gets wiped out of there in under 2 minutes. Wow. Julia. Yikes.
R.I.P.
Really?
See her again. No,
we'll see her again, but wow, that's tough booking for her.
Yeah.
Didn't like that. But who's going to walk out of here is the interim WWE Women's Championship. The idea that all the WWE, the Feddies, I'm calling them Feddies now, hated when AEW did it, but now it's okay. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, Lash Legend, who emerges in this ladder match as the interim WWE Women's Champ. No idea.
So I was quickly checking up on something, and I'm sorry to go backwards for a moment, but
sure.
Oh my God, I'm gonna horribly mispronounce her name. Julia.
Yeah.
She posted a rather interesting statement on X, and the way it's written and the way this article's written makes it sound like that might have been it for her in the WWE.
Wow.
Because
I would be surprised they released her. I mean, why would you do? She's one of the best women's professional wrestlers on the planet, and she has just been treated like garbage. I mean, she did win the U.S. title, but nothing memorable.
Right, and then they go through the dates. Like, look how much time there's been between all the time she's wrestled for the WWE. So, that's kind of scary.
So, well, she's not in there, unfortunately. But who's climbing the ladder and getting the right to lose to Rhea Ripley later down the road? I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? I think I did.
You did, sir. You did.
Who is it? Is it Tiffany? People are pushing for Chelsea Green on this. I don't know about that, but
I must say, I've seen a lot of people go Chelsea. There's a lot of, I think
They
that people
win.
don't-
Would they really have her win that? I don't know.
It'd be interesting.
Coach, since Phil can't give me an answer, who's your answer? Who's going to walk out with the interim WWE Women's Championship?
I think the key word there is interim.
Yeah.
And if you want interim, if you want energy, if you want pizzazz, if you want aura and, over the top outfits and great ring presence and great ring entrances to really get some more eyes on the women's championship,
it's
you
Charlotte
make
Flair.
Chelsea Green. You make Chelsea.
I was going Chelsea. I was
Green.
totally going Chelsea on that one too.
Yeah, no, if they do Charlotte, the internet wrestling community might have a meltdown. So maybe I'd like to see that. But it's Chelsea. I mean, she can carry it for as long as Rhea is out, and Rhea could rehab and do what she needs to do for as long as she wants, because people enjoy Chelsea Green.
They do.
This is an unfortunate statement I'm about to make, but people aren't watching women's wrestling nowadays for 5-star matches. They're watching women's wrestling to be entertained in WWE. And who else is the best entertainer, I would say, in the ring as a woman in WWE? Is Chelsea Green.
I was going to say Ref Jess.
Wow, there you go. She could, that'd be funny if she went up the ladder and won it. By the way, in the chat box, we have our good friend Bionic Scoop says hi, and of course we have to say hi back to Scoop. And he is agreeing with you guys. Chelsea has earned it. Yeah, she's earned it, but I would bet against her tonight. I got a feeling the hype machine was going with Tiffany Stratton, but who knows? Who knows? It'd be interesting. But Lash Legend would be fascinating if they decide to strap her up. That would be something else. So we'll see who ends up with that one. Okay,
you
Coach.
guys stopped going to Pahrump the night before. You're making some odd statements.
I'm not making odd statements. All we've been seeing is Tiffany Stratton pieces for the last month since they announced this match.
She's added a couple nice pieces. You're correct.
Wow. But Lash Legend, an intriguing prospect there. We'll say that. Coach, even though you insulted me, I'm going to give you this one. The return of Baron Corbin up to it gets dropped right into the U.S. Championship match scene, as he will face Trick Williams, Little Yachty in the corner. But Baron Corbin, man, people like him. Tripp says if you're over, you're over, and Baron's over.
He's
Coach,
over.
Can you set aside your fandom of Trick Williams and give us an unbiased prediction of who will walk out with the U.S. title tonight?
I will give you it as unbiased as I can.
Please do.
Not only will Trick Williams win, but Trick Williams is going to kick out of the End of Days tonight.
Whoa.
Okay.
It just happened once, by the way.
And it's going to happen twice. Because Trick Williams is the future of WWE.
Phil, Baron's hot, man. Coming off
He
a great
is.
indie run. I'm surprised they put him in a title match this quick.
And that's the thing that surprises me too. So it's sort of like I think Baron will win, but in very quick succession, Trick comes back. Like or it's you move on to Corbin, and Corbin does something so Trick can go do other things. Like the old Trick in the WWE used to be like for the Intercontinental Championship for several years. Okay, the IC champ, they're the next guy. Well, we're gonna have him dump the championship so we can go for the World Championship because he's the guy. It's like, but you just made him lose.
Yeah, you just lost.
So my brain is like, is this what they're gonna do here? Because it would be really weird to have Baron also lose unless it's you know what? Okay, this is my special play for the weekend.
Wow, you are all over tonight.
Baron loses by disqualification, therefore Trick retains the championship.
I think we probably could use a schmoz finish in this one.
Yeah,
I don't want to see.
I'm not one for big schmoz finishes. This one can be schmozzy.
Yeah, I don't want to see either like these guys have their momentum trashed. So I'm definitely cool with that. But it should be a fun match. We're great to see Baron Corbin performing in front of a massive amount of people after having to cut his teeth back out on the indies and put in the work in MLW, and he is back. And speaking of back, we got to get a break in before I get yelled at by station management. We still got 2 matchups we want to talk about, and then we got to get into AEW Redemption. Was it surprising that we have a new women's world champion at Redemption? I don't know. We'll talk about that later on in the show and a whole lot more. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. Get in our chat box right now, and we will respond to your questions and comments. Stick around, everybody. Phil Stamper, Coach Rosie, Mark Hoke. We'll be right back.
We're here with Chuck, founder of Dollar Loan Center. Chuck, what happens if someone applied before and was denied?
Craig, I love this question, and the answer is simple. If you were denied in the past and still looking for a loan, before you go somewhere else and pay way too much, give us another shot. Everyone's situation changes. You may have a cosigner, a new job, a raise, who knows, but we're going to try to help.
I'm telling you, it seems like my credit score goes up and down each month.
Great point. We don't use a traditional credit score at the DLC, and you don't need great credit or collateral. We can also help you consolidate those expensive payday and title loans because we lend way more and charge way less.
Dollar Loan Center loves Nevada and lends up to $5,000 in minutes. Stop by a nearby location, apply over the phone, or online at don'tbebroke.com.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
1015 FM KDON.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
That's Mark Hoke. By the way, that voice is John Lindquist. If you want to look him up, he is in the Nevada Broadcasting Hall of Fame. He has done all my God. Absolutely incredible. He's a talented singer, just amazing guy. So John Lindquist. Move out to Nashville. I felt kind of bad.
John who?
Lindquist.
Lindquist. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Check it out. He does voiceover work and all that stuff too. So like he and Phil Stamper can do voice things together. Because Phil does a lot of voice work and stuff.
I do. Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't use AI for your stupid projects. I hate those AI voices. I like anytime now I hear them, I'm just like, which of the 5,000 products is this for? Because it's the same voice. It's almost as bad as John Cena in every commercial. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Kidding.
Wow. Cena taking it astray.
Use a real voice. Use a real human voice.
John,
please.
you're welcome on my show anytime. And I'll make sure Phil's not here. Anyway. Coach Rosie, Intercontinental Championship match. This is the one I'm pumped up about tonight. In the hometown for Chad Gable-ish, he will try to wrest the Intercontinental title from Penta. Does it happen, Coach? Did all the El Grande Americano work pay off for finally Chad Gable getting a singles title in WWE?
Yeah, I think it should. But I'm pretty positive it's Chad Gable's time. Vince isn't in the building, so he won't screw the hometown guy like he likes to do. But no, Chad's definitely earned it. He's created a lot of goodwill, not only through his matches, American El Grande Americano, but the interviews he's been doing, the vignettes he's been doing. People have been talking about a Chad Gable run, and I think this is the time you're finally going to get it.
I love Chad. I interviewed him and Otis at WrestleMania a couple of years ago, and just two great guys. So I'm really excited for Chad tonight. Do you agree, Phil? Is it Chad Gable's night?
I hope it is. I mean, I like Penta. Penta's one of their top stars. Like, it has a lot of attention, great merch sales. But I really hope the best for Chad Gable.
I do too. So we'll see what happens there tonight. Then the main event: Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Should be a great war tonight, Coach Rosie. Is there a chance though that Seth is going to win this thing?
No, I don't think so. But you'd like to think there is, to create some intrigue in the match. But after everything that's gone down in the history of it, and I think the push they want to give Roman, I think it's his.
Phil, what do you think? Roman gets out of here tonight with a title, and maybe with a new opponent by the name of Drew McIntyre.
I could see that. I could really see that. And hopefully maybe that is where they go. And, I feel bad because if it does go, if with Drew, he's not going to hold on to anything for long. Like, I don't know if I even see it in his cards.
Wow.
Again, I hate to say that, but I feel like where the WWE is, the talent they have up top, I think it's a really hard spot for Drew to be. And he's doing really good things in Hollywood right now.
Yeah, he's got to be thinking about that. So we'll see, but there is a rumor Drew's going to be back tonight. So that wraps up what we're looking forward to tonight at SummerSlam. I really want to hit one of those. I'm going to hit one of the things that Triple H said. He had a few interesting quotes this week, and they did the press conference thing again. But the one thing that I was really kind of shocked about was that he was telling everybody essentially, look, stop worrying about what we're booking. Just enjoy the show, man. Just enjoy the show. Doesn't matter what we do in creative. Coach, does it matter what Triple H is doing in creative?
Do we still talk about the finale of The Sopranos? Hell yeah, it does. It's all about the story. Most of us don't even watch it for the matches. I mean, the matches are nice, but we watch it for the story. We watch it for the drama, and we get emotionally invested in characters. So when our characters aren't getting the storyline that either we think they deserve or that we think is logically fitting for the story that they deserve, we get upset. And people that don't like the storylines, those shows don't make it very long. So to me, that was an obscure comment, because we've seen what happens when the storylines don't go well for WWE, and you have 83 weeks of a rival company coming in and becoming number one until they got their storylines back together and the Attitude Era popped up. So for me, that's a bogus statement.
Phil, he also made a comment. He said 99% of the time in this business, the person that gets over then gets their push to the top. And was also, Damian Priest had made some comments and made a comment along the line. So, well, are you more over than Cody? Or, you want other people in that spot? You're more Cody or whoever else. Well, you're in the business, man. What did you think when you heard those two statements? The first one, I thought, totally full of crap. Sorry. The second one, maybe a legitimate point.
I think it's a big mix, right? Like, we grew up as kids. We grew up. Here's the one person on top, like maybe floating a couple here or there, and that was hard, because then there wasn't this depth of pool of talent on top. Well, now you have in WWE basically the equivalency of 2 world championships. Like you've doubled all your titles. You're giving more opportunity. At the same time, as a talent, you feel very restricted. I deserve this. I should be up here. Why am I not getting my opportunity? Where is my shot? Punk going off about, I don't care who it is, and mentions like independent wrestler Eric Cannon, because they were also in Minnesota and Eric's like right next door. I'm like, that's great. That's honestly great. But it's a struggle when you're in the business, because you're like, hey, I deserve this too. From the promoter perspective, it's like, well, I can only have a couple people up top at a time. It can't be about everybody all the time, because everybody would be a champion, and you have to have winners and losers.
It is very hard for these guys to make decisions like Triple H, like Tony Khan, because they just have so much of a depth of talent. And you say, well, you should go with the young guys. Well, Oba's going to get there, but are the young guys drawing like the guys like Roman Reigns and CM Punk? No, they're not. So you got to ride the hot hand, but at the same time, you have to have an eye on the future too. It's a weird place, because back in the 80s, Coach, you and I, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, there they were, and you'd occasionally get them knocked off, but they'd come back. It's a tough. I don't bang on Triple H too much, but when he does say, if somebody's over, we're going to push him over. Poor LA Knight. I mean, there's one name right there that Trips left hanging a little bit. But Tony Khan didn't leave anybody hanging, even though apparently the Redemption pay-per-view did not do super well. As honestly, I hate to say it, I kind of expected that thing got kind of thrown in the middle there. But we have a new women's world champion. And I love Tekla. I think she's incredible. But Willow Nightingale knocks her off, and it's going to be now Willow and Mercedes Moné, which apparently was the plan all along. Coach, do you like the title change? Do you like it being Willow, or are we missing out for All In with Tekla and Mercedes?
This was disheartening, because Tekla had a bunch of steam, man. She was rolling, and I think Mercedes knocking her off at the London show would have been a greater wrestling feat, because of all this. She's traveling around the world. She's knocking out CEOs of Japanese companies. She's talking stuff to this person. She's emasculating men in the ring. I mean, she's a dominant figure. And, Willow is a very safe, bubblegum, yay, baby face. And if Tekla was in the ring, I think it would have been the opportunity to see 2 people that will do whatever it takes to win. And now you just kind of have a traditional baby face against heel. And it's just going to be same old. And, maybe they have Willow win, but there wasn't a need for a transitional champion to get to All In. They could have kept it on Tekla. And I think that not only her, but the wrestling community would have appreciated her going down to Mercedes, or maybe even beating Mercedes, the kind of love she was getting in the ring. But we're never going to know that opportunity, at least now.
Phil, Buying Scoop in the chat box says you can't turn Tekla face at this point. I don't want her turned face. I want her and Mercedes to be 2 of the biggest wenches that are racing a wrestling ring, and just be mean and nasty to each other and get mean down and dirty in the ring. I was psyched about that. And I love Willow. She's terrific. Yeah. But I'm let down a little bit.
Where AEW has sometimes struggled is when they've done, this is face, this is heel, this is same in some of their areas. Having heel face, I don't disagree with. Would Tekla versus either of them been more interesting, more entertaining? Yes. I think so. But then I don't think heel you would have gotten what you really also wanted out of a reaction, because then also a little bit of the why care, unless you're planning on, by virtue of Tekla out wrestling Mercedes, being the ad hoc face. So I'm okay with it being Willow by a margin. It tells a very easy story, and for a time, you're right, because I think Redemption was sort of I don't want to say the throwaway pay-per-view, but it was the in your house. It was medium-sized pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Okay,
especially with them, not with the main event being Kenny Omega and Kevin Knight. That just didn't do it for anybody, I don't think.
Right. I agree. And so like this, already they're building up for some bigger marquee names. I mean, Cage and Cope are the tag champs right now. You want to see Edge in 2026? Here you go. So like already in the 3 announced matches, here's Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay and Mercedes Moné and Cage and Cope. Like, oh, okay. From a mainstream appeal, you're already garnering more attention.
Agreed. Yeah, this card was a stepping stone. But we also, Maya World, big upset. There's 2 ladies out there right now that are wishing they hadn't whined about getting their time. I'll just let that go there. But Maya wins the TBS championship from Hikaru Shida. Also changing hands, Andrade El Idolo beats Mark Davis. I feel bad a little bit for Davis, but El Idolo is just ridiculously hot. He wins the national championship. I feel like I'm forgetting one other one. No, I'm good. But decent. I mean, the show was good. But like I said, it just was a stepping stone. And now, Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega get into it at the end. So now we're building up that one, Coach. Did this card do what it needed to do?
Any card that has Jacques Rougeau getting more online banter about something he said than a match is going to tell you the quality of this pay-per-view. It was good. It could have been a Dynamite. It could have been a Collision over a couple weeks, but it definitely did set the table for what we're going to see on Monday.
For those that don't know, by the way, they were honoring the Rougeaus at this pay-per-view, and the Rougeaus had prepared a video to play, a little tribute, and there were some issues that AEW couldn't use it, and apparently Jacques flipped out. Got the maybe got that old Mountie taser out, and it could have been bad backstage, but apparently the bad blood's been smoothed out. But yeah, a little bit of wild stuff there. But AEW has a new tag team, guys. As the Motor City Machine Guns show up on Collision, saying they're home, my dream match for All In is starting to come together. As we have that, plus the New Day put out a little video, and probably not the New Day anymore, but Creed and Kofi, wild unicorns shedding their horns, leaving their brother behind. They're coming to AEW too. Phil, are you excited about the Guns and whatever these guys will be? Maybe an old day, a past day. I don't know, but
so
it's going to get fun.
My brain is spending more time trying to figure out what are they going to be called, and how many references and promos against them are there going to be? You're the old day, you're the yesterday, you're the whatever, passing references to regardless of whatever name they do pick, unless they still own the rights to the New Day. That'd be kind of interesting. I doubt it if they.
I don't think they want to do it. Yeah. I don't think they want to be the New Day.
Yeah.
But I am very excited about the Guns being there. It's a place where they belong, and they're going to get used well. And to have the New Day guys in there too. Oh, we're going to get this massive ladder match, I think, at All In, Coach, with Cope and Cage and Cope and the Guns and FTR, New Day, and I know I'm forgetting somebody else that I wanted in the match. Oh, then the Bucks, the Young Bucks. It's gonna happen, Coach. I think it's gonna happen. Is it gonna happen?
Boy, that was a sure Mark-like scream.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, man, you're excited.
I've been screaming about this match for 4 months.
Beautiful. It's going to be a good one. But what I'm more interested in is, does New Day show up anywhere this week before they go into AEW? There's a big show August 7th for House of Glory in New York.
Ooh.
I'm just thinking possibly, maybe you see them knock off a couple dream matches beforehand. Who knows? But wherever the New Day lands, it's going to be interesting because they will put eyes on the product.
And of course, Coach is referencing that the champions of that organization are the Hardys.
That's the same organization. I'm not into the indies like the president of the indie organization, Phil. But if they are, I mean, that makes perfect sense. A New Day Hardy Boy match before they tie up themselves with AEW. It just makes sense to me.
Wow, Phil, my mind just got blown.
There's a lot of sense there. Now, at the same time, we've also seen, TNA talent can't wrestle them. So I could also see some griping about it if it does happen. But it'd be neat. It'd be really cool. If it does, I hope there's not I can pull off of anybody's card, but yeah.
I think Tony should let the Hardys wrestle on at All In. Make it 6 teams. Could you imagine that? But I'll take the 5. I mean, these are 5 of the greatest tag teams of all time that could be in the ring together at All In. So, I mean, you never know when you're not when the next time you could get a shot at doing something like that. And I think they've got to put that match together, guys. I really do. I think they need to make this happen. So that's just me.
I didn't know Arn and Tully were still fighting, but if they're going to be in that ladder match at All In as one of the greatest 5 tag teams of all times for Demolition, that'd be cool.
That would be interesting. I mean, Tully still goes, occasionally. That'd be fun. But we'll let those guys. They had their time. But fascinating possibilities coming up here for AEW. And by the way, congratulations to the Painmaker who took out Tommaso Ciampa with a drill. Phil, do you advocate the drill spot, by the way?
Always. Right next to the weed whacker.
Oh God. Yeah, that was something else. If you haven't seen the highlights of that one, you need to go check that out as Chris Jericho. He was not a good boy on that one. All right, we're going to step back, take our final break, and we'll get to stuff in the chat box. A couple of the stories that are on the news. Now we'll see what we get to. I have a whole bunch sitting here, but we'll just kind of go with the flow and see what happens. Mark Hoke Show here on KDON 101.5 FM, Talk of Las Vegas. Coach Rosie, Phil Stamper. Oh, and I might tell Lachlan's story, but I think I said Pomp earlier. I meant Lachlan. We'll be right back, everybody.
The Dictator.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Drew McIntyre here from WWE. Wielding the Claymore can be a life of chaos. When I'm not dominating in the ring, Chumba Casino is how this warrior takes a wee break. With hundreds of online social games and new weekly releases, there's always something fresh to try. And those daily boosts, next level. Even my free time feels like Valhalla. So when life feels like a battle, kick up your feet, have some fun, and let's chumba.
Sponsored by BGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at JumboCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in the state where it's legal to play.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. Las Vegas. Are you ready? Join us for Frenzy Fest, a free all-ages music festival, 20 local bands, 3 stages, and 20-minute nonstop sets, all in one unforgettable night at Palms Casino Resort on Monday, August 24th. Doors at 6. Donations will be accepted to help support Positively Arts. Frenzy Fest, August 24th.
This message is made possible by Buyer Entertainment in support of Positively Arts and aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Those old chemicals dumped outside, they don't just disappear. They go right into our waterways. Only rain should go in the storm drain. Discard household chemicals properly. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in working together to preserve our water resources for future generations of Nevadans.
1015 FM KDON.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
My teammates are mocking me because I'm all over the place today, a little bit.
I wasn't mocking you for that.
What were you mocking me for?
Your vocabulary.
Oh, my vocabulary. What?
Totally different conversation.
Yeah, that brought back a memory when I was in high school. I'm a pretty smart guy, and I would use decent sized words, but I didn't think I was doing anything too bad. And this one girl used to call me Mr. Dictionary. Oh, it's Mr. Dictionary. I'm like, shut up. It's because I know the English language. My apologies.
Do you know what she's doing now?
Oh God! I did bump into her about 7 or 8 years ago when I actually it was longer than that. But God, what was she doing? I don't remember. She had an okay job. She was all right. She was cute.
Probably in Pahrump.
No. And by the way, I can't believe I said Pahrump because I've been down there. But yeah, my trip to Laughlin, I got to get that right. It was Laughlin. Laughlin's a little longer drive than Pahrump. But we'll get to that in a second. But because there's a couple things I want to mention here real quick. I went off. I had a little tweet about the WWE random name generator, and I felt kind of bad after I did because it was when Mike Santana announced that he will be Ryan Montana. And I was like, oh, come on, really? But then, of course, it's a tribute name to his late father. So I feel a little bad. But another guy that got victimized by that name generator was Jeff Cobb, who came out and said, I didn't like getting my name changed. They didn't use me very much. I begged to wrestle and they wouldn't let me do it. But it is interesting, that name generator, Phil. Because you're out there on the indies. Everybody's making a name out there for themselves. They sign with WWE and all of a sudden they're Barry Thomas or, Skyboy Jackson. I don't know. It's just like they spin the two wheels. They give you a new first name and last name. How frustrating is that for people out there in the pro wrestling world? Well, you got the contract, but everything you worked for under that name is now Eastwa.
Right. It can be very frustrating. Where a lot of conversation has been in the last week, since last week I had the opportunity to work with Joe Gacy, the former Joe Gacy, who's now Joseph Sawyer. Joe Gacy was the name he used on the independents forever before he went to the WWE, and he sold the rights to, or I don't know if he sold, WWE copyrighted the name, and it's not his given name. So now the name he built forever is now owned by the WWE, so he has to change his name now that he's back in the indies. I'm like, no one's ever heard of that happening before. But everybody else who did keep their name, other than like a CM Punk, like Drew Gulak. His name is Drew Gulak. His real birth name on his ID, on his birth certificate is, well, probably Andrew Gulak, but so he can go and use it. Gacy can't, even though he built that name. The whole day, everybody's calling him Gacy because everyone knows him as Gacy. But So I think of that a lot more, and I think people are afraid of that happening. But I think a lot of people have a backup, like, oh, I could use this name, maybe this name. What about this name? I've thought about it. So I mean, it's.
Do you have a backup name in mind, Phil?
I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to say what it is. Why would I do that to myself? But it would also be. It'd probably use my middle name.
Okay,
but
that's fair. That's fair. Coach, you could be Coach Rosaneski.
I don't want to be a coach.
Oh man, yeah, but I thought that was interesting. Jeff Cobb was finally talking about it. And I felt bad for Jeff. He just didn't get used very much. But kind of down that road, we have the MFTs, the Tonga boys, and Haku is back managing them, and so reminded these gentlemen that are his sons, of course, that it's time to show them what MF Tongans can do. Coach, is it a brilliant move or a sign of desperation that they brought Haku in?
I mean, depends what demographic you're talking to. You're talking to lovers of professional wrestling. You see one of the most tough, strong, deadly individuals coming to fire up his family. It gets your blood pumping. But for someone that doesn't know the legacy of Haku, or just might think of him as some WWE legend like Hacksaw Jim Duggan or Sergeant Slaughter, it's not going to be anything big. But for someone that really knows, Haku will bite your face off.
Yes.
It's the kind of guy that brings fear into people.
I
So
think
for that demographic, it definitely got our blood pumping. I watched that clip probably 3 or 4 times just to wake me up yesterday. And
I think it's a good move. I really do. I mean, does it reek a little bit of desperation trying to get some new blood in there? That's old blood. Yeah, but it's Haku, man. It's Haku.
What's weird is I feel like if they had done this 2 or 3 years ago, it would have been really hot because he was trending. Like he had videos that were going viral and all over the place. I feel like he did an interview at that time too that like randomly popped up. So it's like that was the moment to strike. I don't think it'll be a little bit of a nostalgia kick. People will probably like, look at this guy. Like, the people who don't understand who he is. Okay, he must be knowledgeable. Look at this older gentleman that's with them. But
I think it's gonna be great.
I like it. I
think he'd be a great U.S. champion. I'll just throw that out too.
Oh, there you go.
Just put a belt on Haku. So real quick, my trip to Laughlin. I apologize. I'm so tired, guys. I picked up this girl who was barely wearing anything and completely loaded my car down with stuff in the trunk, stuff in the back seat, and her 2 toddlers. For which, and let's just say things weren't smelling too good in my car, and I had to take them all the way down to Laughlin, all the way down. She complained once. I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to wake the kids up, but she was moving. And then when I dropped her off, she didn't say a word to me. And no tip for a 90-minute trip to Laughlin. So thanks, lady. I appreciate that.
Maybe she just hasn't processed it yet. Maybe she was doing the next thing, and like the next time she opens up her app, she'll do it.
Yeah, maybe, or maybe not. But Laughlin's a neat little place. I kind of like it. You guys come out here. We should road trip down.
So much for the quick answer segment.
Well, there you go. That was about as quick as I could make that story. All right. But yeah, that was I was Ubering. I think I got home at 4:30 yesterday and 3:30 today. So I've got some stuff to do, and I'm going to try and get some sleep and maybe recover. But I hope everybody enjoyed my exhaustion. I'm sure Coach Rosie and Phil Stamper did. You can follow Coach at Real Coach Rosie on X and Phil Stamper at Trusted Phil and get that amazing independent calendar. You can see every indie event pretty much across the country. It's pretty neat, so check that out. Guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. And thank all of you out there for joining us for the Mark Hoke Show. It's the best in pro wrestling. Enjoy SummerSlam tonight. We'll be talking about it next week here on the show. Thanks for joining us on KDOM 101.5 FM Talk of Las Vegas. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, The Mark Hoke Show. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great day, Las Vegas.
Bye.
Want more of the Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show.
Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
If you haven't switched to Pure Talk,